You are listening to Kez and Sam, and this is Let's Talk Dogs. And if you love dogs, then this is definitely the place to be. I hope you're all well wherever you're listening, and thank you for tuning in. And we are discussing today what dogs do for our mental health. And did you know this about dogs? Because I've been doing a Google. And me and Sam will share an embarrassing dog story.
You might share more than one.
I'll share one because it'd be overwhelming if I share too many. Because unfortunately too many has happened.
Doesn't happen to me, thankfully.
I'm sure there has been something.
Well, probably, but I can only remember one.
Right, you can only remember one. And then obviously we're going to touch on, because obviously you've done an amazing website because we have got sponsoring dogs for our charity is up and running because we've got a lot of dogs that are not finding homes, and so we are struggling financially because we are a very small charity and purely rely on donations. So
yeah, and other than we don't want to keep begging. It's an awful situation to be in where we're
putting up on Facebook. And people are just going to get tired.
We have actually considered closing.
Yeah, but we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that.
We want to keep growing. We want to premises. We want to be able to invite people in who do have mental health issues, who can spend time with dogs.
Yeah.
Because they've been a massive help to me, they've been a massive help to you, and they can help other people, even,
And the thing is, you've started this, Sam, and other people have come on board and believe in your quest. Mm-hmm. And what we see what you're doing. We've saved over 2,000 dogs.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of dogs when you put. I know there's other charities bigger and better. Well, I shouldn't say better, but bigger and got a good function going. We're small and we're doing our best for what we've got. So we just need that extra bit of support. And if anybody can, it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, if you can have a look at our website, which is highhopesrescue.org, and you'll find we've got 20 sponsored dogs on there at the moment. And they're all dogs that have they're going through rehab, they might be in different stages of rehab, like Sally's recently come in and she needs total rehab because she's quite shut down. She spent about 8 months in a public shelter.
Wow.
And the picture of her just lying in a box, just like she's given up on life. So she's just at the beginning, whereas Nils has been here probably 2 years and he's ready to go home.
He's nervous though, he's nervous.
He is still nervous, but he's growing and changing all the time, and just recently he started jumping up new people, and we're trying to get the other volunteers to now pick him up, put him in the van, and it's moving and changing all the time.
He's definitely getting there. And then obviously 2 of the dogs that we're going to be needing their forever home is Daisy and Penny.
Yeah.
So we'll be finishing the show telling you a little bit about Daisy and Penny. But obviously I think, like I have said, and a lot of people say, I don't think there's any dog owner in the world that hasn't said how their dogs help them or what their dog does for them. They don't know. And that's why I love dogs. They're on a very high pedestal and we should highly value dogs because what they do for us, they're always there. They're like your right arm.
Yeah, they're just incredible. It's the silent, being there silently. I took this lovely photo of my daughter with Ollie. I think Ollie was about 9, 10 months old.
Oh.
And I don't know if she was going through a hard time and she was sat on the floor watching the telly and he was just sat next to her and he put his head under her arm and they just sat there watching TV.
Really? Just them being there sometimes,
just being there without saying a word.
Because
companionship.
I think I had Milo and I was in a relationship and I got him. I was with this person for 9 years, and I got him near the end of the relationship. And within a year, I'd left once I got Milo. But it wasn't like it was a horrible situation. It was just we weren't right for one another. And having Milo gave me the strength to realise that.
Yeah.
And gave me the strength to leave. And it was the best decision I ever made.
Imagine if things were different and you didn't have Milo.
I beggars believe I might be in jail and you might be 5 foot under. It's driving me mad, I tell you.
Oh, you don't mean that. She doesn't mean that.
I don't mean that. No, honestly, I wish him all well, sort of. You know what I mean? Doing EastEnders, dun 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 dun. Where is he? I shan't mention his name, but no, we went our separate ways, and Milo did so much and he had no idea. I packed my bags at 1 o'clock in the morning, sobbing. I put the plasma TV in there because I paid for that.
You fit it in your bag.
Shove that in there, the dog, the boxes. And I left by morning and he woke up and I was gone. So I left a note. Don't worry, I left a note.
Left a note.
It's all over. Goodbye. Good luck. Here's a lottery ticket.
You needed to do it though for your own son.
I did, yeah. And that's the thing. And I don't think, there's anybody in the world that says about dogs what they do for us. They're not only your companionship, but there's other means that they help. I mean, if I ever get really, really depressed, I'll say this to my friends ever, stick me in a room full of, well, preferably Jack Russell puppies. Because if I'm ever like, I'm not in a good place, just stick me in a room full of puppies.
Oh, no, mine wouldn't be puppies. Definitely not. It would just be Dora.
It would just be Dora.
Yeah, Dora is incredible. I've just got this amazing bond with Dora that I've got with Monty. I've got that kind of bond, but there's just something unspoken between me and Dora.
That's special.
She is very special to me, and I think she's been with us for about a year, nearly a year, and I've gone through some hard times when we lost Autumn, and just lying on the floor with Dora for half an hour just makes everything so much better.
I have a stressful day on the van, like I have a lot of addresses to get round, and by the end of it, I can't remember where I've been. I just know my head is like the M25, and I literally get home and I hug Rusty, and he sinks his body into me, and I just immediately leaves me. And I think when, especially like I've mentioned this, when dogs come home, they're the most happiest. They full of so much joy. Nothing else in the world greets you like a dog when you come home. Nothing.
Never.
And you're the favourite person in their world, and that makes you feel a million times better.
They never judge. They take you for who you are, and it's so incredible when we have owners who can take the dog for who they are. Like, for instance, Baloo.
Yeah.
You went home.
I did.
We hope.
I have shown.
We do hope. We do hope it's forever home. He went home on Sunday, I think, and he's doing really, really well. But he was, he is deaf, and he's not the easiest dog in the world. But they've just accepted him in for who he is, and they're just running with that, and it's so lovely to see. And I think we've all shed a tear over. He was really hard work.
We were worried. There's a lot of dogs that we're thinking to ourselves, how on earth are they going to find their person? But
he just got overstimulated so quick. So and it was the van. Being in the van with him, and he barked the entire way, and being in the field and you get overstimulated, and brushing him you get overstimulated, and it's just so nice to see him just relaxing at home when he hasn't got the other stimulus of the other dogs. And even one of our volunteers said even his eyes look, his pupils look less dilated.
Really?
Yeah, because he's just, the stress has gone.
Wow.
Because he just needed that calm, quiet, one-to-one, somebody who's going to give him.
It's almost like they help us, but we also help them.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, like looking at, your mental health, it's been known that they reduce your stress, boost your moods, depression help tremendously with that, anxiety and their company. There's a lot of people that all they got is their cat or their dog.
Yeah.
They don't really see anybody else, but they have their dog in their life.
And that's their world.
And like studies show, Australia, studies show, they did a thing where they did a questionnaire of so many people in Australia. And like I said, 95% said dogs make them happier. 93% say they feel healthier. And 94% said their dog supports their overall mental health. Now, I mean, I don't know about you, but that would be 100% for me.
Yeah, I would, for me as well.
I would be 93%.
Couldn't imagine life without
No, I mean, they get you out the house though as well.
Yeah.
They get you fitter. There was a story in America, and I thought this was brilliant. There was this guy that was obese, and he was diabetic because of his obesity. And he was so depressed, and he just couldn't see the point of living. And he said to the doctor, I don't know what to do. And the doctor said, if you carry on this way, you're not going to live much longer. And he said, what do I do? And the doctor turned around and he said, go get a dog.
And he did.
And he did. So he went to the rescue centre and he said to the rescue, where's your fattest dog and your most depressed dog? Because I'll take him. And there was this boxer dog, and he was 4 years old, and he had been overfed, and obviously his owner, whatever, had given up. And he was in there, and he was on a diet, and he said, brilliant, I'll take him home. So the pair of them was on a diet, and the rescue said to him, try and walk, the pair of you, obviously, you both need to walk. So they did. They went out and they started walking. It went from 10 minutes to 15 to half an hour, and he progressed, and his weight started coming off, and the dog started getting better. He started getting healthier, and he reversed his diabetes.
Wow, what?
And his health got better. And the most best thing what happened is they started running.
Oh my God.
And they literally do marathons together now.
Oh, I need to look this up.
Yeah, you need to look this up. I can't remember the man's
Giving me
name.
shivers, the whole
That
story.
dog needed help. He needed help, and they transformed
Each other.
Yeah. And I do believe if anybody's struggling today and you don't have a dog and you are struggling,
They can help
Please.
massively.
dogs, that's just one story. There's
Yeah.
many, many more like that.
I mean, when I was a teenager, I had a really troubled, from the age of sort of 13, I had quite a troubled time. And we had a border collie, and I spent so many hours just walking that collie,
Really?
miles and miles, and she helped me so much. Carrie, her name was, which is why I can't call Carrie because that dog helped me so much. It's been since then, really. But I always wanted a dog. I didn't get one till I was 11. That's a wait, a long time.
That's a long time wait.
It is a long wait.
I'm very lucky. I had Butsy from the offset. So I've grown up with Jack Russells, but in general, I love all dogs.
But Jack Russells are your...
Jack Russells are my thing. I think it is because I grew up.
Yeah, I think I love collies. I don't think I could have one now because I couldn't give them what they needed.
They're very high energy.
Yeah, they're very high energy. They're very, very intelligent. And they just need probably more than I can give with what I give to the rescue.
Yeah. And I mean, I would just say, anybody who wants to get in touch and just tell us your story, or, what a dog's done for you, it was doing for you today or in the past.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've had a dog that's got me out of a relationship, and I truly believe if I hadn't got Milo, I might possibly still be there.
Yeah.
So, and like for you, Sam, you've got a lot on your plate, but Dora is your release, your
She is.
therapy.
She's helped me a lot. I think the hardest time was when Autumn went home just before Christmas, and then 5 days later I had a call from the vet at 11:30 at night to say she'd been hit by a car.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was just the most awful time. I spent 2 years rehabbing this dog from a dog that couldn't be touched.
Mm.
And then, we thought we'd found the right home. And it was a complete accident. They did let go of the lead accidentally, and she just ran, and unfortunately ran in front of a car, and
Heartbreak for all.
absolutely broke all of us. And even now thinking about it, I
I know,
get a bit teared up. But Dora helped me a lot through that time.
Yeah.
And Monty, I've got this real strong bond with Monty. He's 11 this year.
11.
Been through a lot with Monty. He was kind of the first dog that I'd rehabbed, and
it's kind of
it was
implied
just a long, it's just a long story. He needed me as much as I needed him, and my kid's dad sadly passed away suddenly on my daughter's 16th birthday, and it was a very, very traumatic time for us. And Monty, on the day of the funeral, he plays this game, it's hide and seek. It's his little game. He made it up when I just go along with it. He hasn't done it for a while actually, because he's almost blind now.
Yeah, he's getting
but yeah, he'd run along in the grass, and then in the long grass, and then he'd lie down, and then I'd have to go and find him, and I'd have to go, found you, and then he'd go off again and he'd do it again. And he doesn't do it all the time. He doesn't do it every walk. But this particular day, the day of the funeral, I took them out 30-minute walk before I was leaving them, and he did it the entire walk. He played hide and seek because he knew that I just needed that distraction of just, he just wanted to help. And he's not the most he's not the most intelligent of dogs, but we're just really in tune with each other, and it's really sad to see him getting older.
I mean, I remember when Milo got to old age, and it's heartbreaking, and it's all part of the package, because like the motto is, you know, you take them on and you're going to be there at the beginning, you're going to be there at the end, and a lot of people don't realise that,
No.
and they don't think about that. But
I don't think they think about old age, because I found, you know, all puppies are hard work, but they're actually really hard work when they get older.
yeah, it's a lot. It's like parental care.
Yeah, I've found it harder. as I
Milo
got
had
older.
dementia, and he was up at 1 a.m. whining, pacing around, and I was like, I don't know what to do,
No,
because he.
there's not a lot you can do
No.
other than just comfort them, really.
Yeah. And then, and you know, we don't want to talk about that, but when the time comes, we will touch on bereavement, because I think it is an important one. But we'll do that on a later date. On a later date. But yeah, so obviously you can't cover all mental health because there's a lot to say on it. But I hope we, you know, give you a little bit of what we thought about it.
Yeah.
But what I'll move on to is, did you know?
Okay.
Right. I don't know if you know this, but I actually didn't know this, ironically, that dogs have belly buttons.
Yes, I did
You
know
did
that.
know that?
I did know that.
You did? Oh,
I
well,
did, because we had a litter, didn't we?
of course, I was a stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's not
personally
something we'd ever do
don't know
again.
why I didn't
Very
ever think
long time
about
ago.
it, of course, but I are belly buttons, but I don't really see that. And the reason why is, just like humans, they receive their nutrients, don't they, through the umbilical plumbing.
That's a
You
big
say it,
word.
Sam. You say it.
Umbilical.
Yeah, that's umbilical cord. That'll do. Yeah, and obviously I always think, well, I don't see a belly button, but when the pup is born, the mother would chew off the cord, leaving a stump, then eventually falls off, leaving a scar.
Yes.
And it can be found near the base of the rib cage. It can be hard to find, almost invisible. Now, I've had a little look on Rusty.
Let's have a little look on Mia. Come here.
Have a look on Mia. See if you can see it. I know anyone that is listening, have a look at your dog. See if you can see their belly button. They're so much further.
I can't. No.
No,
There
it's
will be-
virtually invisible.
I was just like, what are you doing to me? But she has got one. Where is it? Oh, me, you're such a good girl.
No, I can't.
I can't. There it is. There's my belly button. Can you see it?
We found it. She found your tail. We found your belly button. We
Now
found your belly
get off. Give me
Yeah,
some
get
snacks.
off. You want to find Roman?
I think I'll leave Raymond for now.
This one made me laugh. This next one, right?
Okay.
Did you know this, right? Now, obviously, there's no scientific proof to this or any actual reason, but apparently dogs do their business according to the Earth's magnetic field. Did you know this, Sam?
Say again.
The Earth's magnetic... Say again? You haven't had too many tequilas, Sam.
No.
I am honestly saying that.
Okay.
Right, so like I said, it's unknown why dogs seem to have the ability to sense Earth's magnetic field, right? They align themselves with the magnetic field when they poop. And it goes to the north and south axis.
Okay, that's blown my brain. I can't.
So when they have a poop, they're aligning themselves north or south, right?
Okay.
I was very intrigued by this. Like I said, there's no actual reason, which I don't know why. But so all I'm going to say to you, Sam, is dogs are barking. Because I'm right? They know this. So the next time your dog has a poop and looks at you, you maybe just happen to be facing north or south.
Okay. Is this real?
Oh, no, honestly, it's
You're
what
not
it
making
says.
this up.
I'm not making it up, honestly.
Okay.
They shit to the south and they shit to the north.
I thought they looked at you if you were like my mom.
Proper squitting, isn't they? And they're looking about. Are they facing north or south? I want to, right?
I wouldn't know which is
I'm
north
going to
or south
purchase a
from
couple
here.
off Amazon.
Okay.
Purposely, just when my next dog takes a poop, right? And
You're
does
going to
its
see
business,
if it's north.
I'm
or
going to
south.
see if it's face. I'm going to let you know.
Okay, you let me know.
I'll
Because I
get
don't
only
even
a
know.
comfort.
I don't know where north is from here. Do you?
To be honest, we're in the west, and north that way, south that way, isn't it? I'm not off me rocker, honestly. We've got to try. Anyone listening?
Oh my
Try and
god!
get a compass, see if your dog shits to the south or shits to the north. Honestly, I laughed my head off. I didn't know that, did you?
I never heard that before in my life. No,
I didn't know that.
that's bizarre.
It is, isn't it?
I'm gonna have a Google because that.
Apparently, there's no real reason, but they do that. I've never really thought about it, but I mean, if you had a load of dogs and they're all facing the same way, they might be. I mean, some might go north, some might go south. You don't know.
Some might go east, some might go west.
Wow, apparently they don't. It's just the north and south.
Some might go north, east.
I go west. I shit in the west.
Do you?
Oh my God!
I'm keeping my cards close to my chest.
You're not going to let me know if you shit.
No.
I think you shit in the west because you live in the west. That's what I say. But yeah, Sam, what is your story?
My story is quite tame compared to your story.
Well, I think I've got.
Oh, see, you've got so many.
I've got to think. What?
Okay, I've got two.
Okay.
So the one is actually with Rusty.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So I was walking Rusty, and I think I got Alice and a few other dogs with me. And he was wearing a Julius canine harness, which I would not recommend, and I would not use again. And he slipped out of it, and he decided to run to the nearest car and try and get in it.
Oh my God! What?
And I had nothing long. He just wanted to get in. So that was fairly embarrassing. I was like, oh, no, I'm really sorry. And he didn't do anything. I didn't think I had him that long, so I didn't know that well. I didn't know what he was going to do. He just wanted to get in the car. Anyway, got him back, and it's all fine. And my other one was I was walking Lucky and Henry when they came. And Lucky was a lovely dog, but he's so strong on lead. I think you walked Lucky as well, didn't you? And he
is very strong.
And they pulled me into the pond, mostly Lucky. They pulled me into the pond, and somebody was taking photos at the time. Oh, there's like a live photo of me falling into the pond, but they're quite tame compared to.
Wow, my one that I didn't tell my mum for years because it was rather embarrassing, of course. Was when I was a teenager, I had a lovely Jack Russell called Barney, and he was one of those Jack Russells, a Parson Jack Russell, that was very scruffy. And I gotta be honest, I didn't trim him much, so he looked a right meh. And I didn't really, every so often I brush him, but I was a teenager and I didn't brush myself, so I'm not going to brush the dog and all. And I literally lived in the same. I don't know if you was one of those kids that lived in the same kind of jeans, T-shirt, you wear the same things, your favourite clothes, and they're worn to a crisp, aren't they? And they're tattered. And I had a Villa shirt that was literally I worn from birth, I think.
It just grew.
And it was tattered. And my mum always would say, "God, Kerry, you look a scruff. You ain't going out like that." And I go, "Oh, leave me alone." But the special thing about Barney was he skateboarded everywhere with me. No, I'm not saying he had his own skateboard. I'm saying like he sat on the skateboard with me, and I'd go all around Malvern with him.
Oh.
And we loved it. We'd go everywhere, and we get lots of people like talking to us and wanting to take a picture of us. And it was I went out in the morning, and it got to dinner time, and it was getting a bit chilly, and it started to turn, and it's a bit. And I thought, oh, there's the bush out in Barnard's Green in Malvern. And I thought, I'll get some chips and we sit in there and take shelter whilst the rain's coming down a bit. So I managed to get these chips, and I got Barney this sausage. And I sat in the bush shelter, and I was like really kind. I teared a bit of the corner off. And I always wear a cap. If anybody knows me, I live in a cap, and I have done all my life. So I took my cap off, and as I tore off the side and I was breaking up the sausage and I put it down beside Barney, all of a sudden this person chucked some change into my cap. And no lie, the dog stopped eating the sausage and looked at me, and I looked at him. And I thought, what's the hell, mate? I thought someone thinks we're homeless. And then, whilst I was getting over the shock, some bugger took some more change in.
No way.
God, sitting at this bush shelter. And I thought, they think we're homeless. So I was so embarrassed, because obviously I looked that bad and he looked that scruffy. That it looked like... The good thing is I got some sweets out of that. The packet of crisps. I made myself £2.40.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I went home and Mum said, "You had a good day?" I said, "Yeah, I've had a good day." Never told her. So many years later.
You told her now?
She was right, wasn't she? I looked like a right mess, didn't I?
Well, you don't look like that now.
No, I don't know. I beg to differ, to be honest with you. But yeah, that was embarrassing. That was because but I've got one, but it doesn't include a dog.
That's okay.
So I'm always saving something. If there's an animal distress or whatever, I'm there. I'm literally, I will help anything from a pigeon to anything. And I was in Worcester on a very busy day, And I got to I was coming up to a set of traffic lights, and I thought, oh my God, there's a hedgehog in the road. Oh my God, I got to save it. So I pulled my car across to stop the traffic and put my hazards on. And there was a couple of toots behind me. And I got out and I said, I'm sorry, there's an hedgehog. And the bloke said, he had his window down. And he said, what? I said, there's an hedgehog in the road. Hang on a minute. I said, you can't come past. So I went up to the hedgehog. And as I knelt down, I suddenly realised this wasn't a hedgehog.
What was it?
It was an grey earmuff.
Oh, yeah.
It was a grey earmuff. Oh, shit. Oh, what am I going to do here? And there's traffic and there's people looking at me. And I thought,
what did you do?
I had to
Pretend it was a hedgehog.
So I picked it up and I scooped it up like I had an hedgehog in my hand. And the bloke's going, it's all right. I said, it's all right. And I was shouting down the traffic, it's just an hedgehog. And I'm thinking, don't get out of that car. For the love of God, don't get out of that car.
Oh my God, that is embarrassing.
Walked so carefully to the car with a freaking earmuff in my hand. And there's people on the pedestrian side looking at me, and I'm thinking, don't come over. Don't come over. I said, it's all right. And I literally got in the car and I placed it on my passenger seat.
What did you do with it?
I drove off, went so far down the road and chucked it in the bin.
Oh God,
yeah,
that's embarrassing.
That's my hedgehog. So, but then again, if you think about whether a hedgehog be out during the day, so that was a big sign, to be honest, wasn't it?
Well, no, I've saved the hedgehog in the day.
There is apparently hedgehogs you can see out in the day. Doesn't necessarily, they might be unwell.
Oh, okay.
So it's an emergency to Vale Wildlife Hospital, which is a shout out because that's a tremendous charity as well.
I stopped the traffic to get the hedgehog to go across the road.
There you are, see, it's got to be done and it's done.
I've got an embarrassing story that's with a mouse.
Well, you've got to share now. You've got to share now.
So I was cleaning out the cupboards when we lived at our old house, and there was these massive pantry cupboards on the wall that were all built in. And I was cleaning them out, and I don't really like mice. I had a thing about mice, because when I had rabbits when I was a kid, and one day I'd gone in to scoop the food out of the bin, and there was like 6 baby mice just jumping at me. And then I'm like, mice. Anyway.
Mice are fast. That's the thing as well.
They do, and there was a lot of them. So I'm cleaning out the cupboard, and my ex had come in. Well, we were married at the time. And he's like, there's a mouse. And I was like, where? So I just jumped back from this cupboard, and I was on like ladders or something. And anyway, he starts rooting around in the cupboard, and this mouse jumps out the cupboard into my washing up bowl, which was full of water.
Oh God!
He's swimming around in this washing up bowl, and I'm like freaking out because there's a mouse in the house. He scoops it up in a jar, puts the lid on, and he goes to shake it to kill it. And I was like, no, you can't kill it. And anyway, he says, what on earth do you want me to do with this mouse? And I said, we'll go and release it. So he drives down the road to the local park.
Yeah.
Opens up the jar, lets the mouse out. What does the mouse do?
What?
Runs across the road, gets run over.
No!
So then he calls me up, and honestly, he's in fits of giggles.
Giggles? I would him.
I was very cross.
I would be as well. That's horrible.
I kind of see the funny
side
now.
Like, you tried to save him and he ran across the mouse,
but he did run across.
You ever seen the film Ratatouille?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah, he goes to chuck him in the river and he decides not to, doesn't he?
Oh.
Because you were thinking, oh my God.
Yeah, but we did try and save the mouse.
You did try, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mine thought it was very funny. And
mine turned out to be an earmuff, you know.
Yeah. Oh, you're always being very...
You can let Dora in.
Dora knows.
Right. So, our dogs for today, we are desperate to find a home. I'm massively desperate for Daisy. Because Daisy she's a lovely female, a large, medium-sized.
Yeah, she's very tall.
And she's age 3. She's dog-friendly. But it's
hit and miss. Yeah, it's hit and miss. She can't live with another dog. That's for definite. And she couldn't be in foster with another dog. That's why she's at kennels.
And so that's the difficult thing with our foster situation is a lot of our fosters have dogs.
Yeah.
So obviously Daisy's she's doing okay, but she is struggling in the kennels. And
yeah,
she's looked after by Claire and
they're lovely people, and they love her, and I think they would keep
have
her, but they have got other dogs. And
yeah,
they know
that's
that
the problem.
It's not going to work for Daisy, and no one ever asks about her. You know, she's not. It's awkward to say because she's not the most appealing dog
Yeah.
in the world. I mean, to us, she's beautiful.
Because we've got to know. But
Yeah.
at first appearances, it looks a bit. I don't know. It's intimidating. I would
Yeah,
say
I think
that.
we think she's part sort of Mali cross. She's very, very intelligent, but she's also very, very strong-willed, very stubborn. You've got to know what you're doing with Daisy.
But Daisy is very affectionate, though.
She's very affectionate.
As soon as she meets you, she wants cuddles,
Yeah.
doesn't she?
Yeah, she does that little lip curl
Yeah,
thing.
she does like a lip thing. She looks like she's showing you your teeth.
Yeah,
she
takes a little bit of time to get to know Daisy. She loves playing with a ball. She loves people that she knows. She went home as a puppy. She came over and went home as a puppy, and I think she was in that home for about a year.
Wow,
and she's come back. I can't actually remember off the top of my head. I have to look through messages and stuff. But literally no one really asks about her, and when people have asked about her, they haven't been suitable, because you've got to send her to the right home. You don't want it to fail. You want to get it right first time.
Well, that's our determination.
And she's like, well, I did a lot of work with her, because she was in foster with me for a bit of time. And I did do a lot. When she first came to me, she was completely dog aggressive.
Was she?
And as I got to know her and did some work with her, she can be with some of the dogs. It's very hit and miss, but she wouldn't be able to live with another dog, definitely not. But I did do a lot of work with her and other dogs. And when she first came, she was reactive on lead, up in the air. And we got that down to kind of just a bark.
Yeah.
But obviously she hasn't been in foster she's been in kennels for 12 months.
In there too long. It's too long.
It is too long. I mean, she has a nice life there. Nothing's the same as a home. But she does have a nice life.
I mean, she doesn't have the comfy sofa.
No, she is out a lot of the time.
I mean, she is obviously, because she's been returned and everything. The adoption fee is lower.
Mm-hmm.
It's $250 to adopt, to give her a home. I mean, she has no small furries. The children's situation is that
because she's still a bit. She's still a bit of a nervous girl. She's not really nervous.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like a teenager, maybe.
Yeah, but to make it sort of work for Daisy, and we are saying, older teenagers a possibility, but preferably I think we'd go adult only home and experienced owner.
Yeah, I mean, she loves a good belly rub, doesn't she? And
she does.
She rolls in
really
her back. I mean, she won me over massively. And I haven't really, to be quite honest, I haven't really been with Daisy a lot. But for me, there's something special about Daisy.
Yeah. Drea's partner, Tez, really wants to take her home, but they've got 3 dogs, and it just isn't going to work.
That's the problem. So all the volunteers here, we've all got dogs.
Yeah.
But, well, obviously, I think all of us between us, if we had a big house, we'd all be having them all, and we wouldn't be asking for
No, we'd take them all home. And I think the longer they stay with us, the more attached that we get to them.
Yeah, we do, especially Luna for me.
Yeah.
There's a few that all of us as a team have got our favourites, and we shouldn't say we have our favourites, but there's just dogs.
I think it's dogs that you bond with. Like, for me, it's Dora. Yeah. I don't know what it is with me and Dora. There's something there that I can't explain. Yeah. She's just got me.
Yeah. And our other dog today is beautiful Penny.
Penny.
And she's female. She's medium size, and she's aged 4.
Yeah.
She is dog friendly, isn't she, Sam?
She is dog friendly, and I think she'd be happy living with another dog. She does have, I wouldn't say issues sharing her space, but when she's in her crate or she's in her bed, she wants to just be left alone.
Right.
She's a little bit, she used to play with Nita a lot, and they used to play rough, and Nita would put up with Penny jumping all over her and sort of pawing her and stuff, but a lot of the others won't.
Right.
And so she is missing that rough play.
She's not reading the room.
No. The only one who will play with her is Roman, but because of her legs, Roman's a bit rough with her, and I do have to stop it because I don't want to get in hurt. So Penny was found in the public shelter, and we were asked to take her, and we said yes, but then when they went back to get her, both of her front legs were broken. And then she did have to have plates fitted in both, but they didn't take them out. They should have been taken out. So our vet said, and they left them in, and she came over and she was very, very nervous. She was in a different foster home. She used to hide in plant pots in the garden. I think there was one instance when I had a call saying Penny's gone missing.
Really?
Just because she'd just gone and hid somewhere and she couldn't find her.
Oh, bless her.
And then she was operated on again because the plate started showing through the skin.
Yeah.
So she had to have the plate taken out. And then she went to another foster home, and she has flourished. She's always going to have issues with her legs.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
she's
that's
gonna
what
have-
the person, whoever, you know, that's another special owner we're looking for. That's someone who's willing to take her on and give her the home. And that is going to take the medical. I mean, it's not, if you near the end of life more than anything. I mean, that's like any dog, though, if you think about it.
You don't know how long you've got with
You don't know how long you've got with these
For
dogs.
Penny, like, one of her legs is worse than the other. And may need further surgery at some point, but
She's all right at the moment.
She's all right at the moment. She just gets sore. She can't do too much exercise. You know, an hour and a half, and that's enough. You know, she can't do hours of walking. But the one is worse than the other, and it potentially, if it's another operation, and if that fails, you can't amputate because her other leg isn't strong enough to hold the weight. So it's like, what do we do? How long have we got with Penny? How, you know, it's the last thing in the world we'd ever want to do. But it's quality of life and pain, isn't it? So we'll just keep going up.
We'll keep going, but obviously, if anybody anybody who's listening that would like to try and give her a home for however long it would be, I mean, you know, it's one of those situations.
Yeah, I think it would break all of our hearts, and we'd do everything we could.
We will absolutely do what we can for her.
I mean, we keep her safe. We keep her weight down because obviously the weight has an impact on the legs as well. But she is gonna, however old she gets, she will always suffer with her legs.
Yeah,
and, you know.
I mean, she's very happy. She's very affectionate. She's always pleased to see all of us.
She's got a great smile.
And she
likes to smile.
She likes to smile. Smile. The world will smile with you.
And and she also likes snacks quite a lot.
Yeah.
She just pester people for snacks.
Yeah, she is. But she's a lovely dog. So you'll find all of these on, you know, if you follow us on Facebook, obviously our page. She is up for sponsor as well.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are. So please have a look. And yes, so looking forward, we will be looking at reactive dogs.
Okay,
we'll touch on that. I think that's an important one. A lot of people in the world struggle with that. So and
I think a lot of people feel quite isolated with a reactive dog, and you know, we've all walked reactive dogs and come home and just been in for tears because it was such a bad walk.
Yeah, it's soul destroying at times, isn't it? Yes, it is, Daisy. That's Daisy.
Dora.
Oh, Dora. Jesus, I'm getting. We've just been talking about Daisy.
Yeah, Dora is getting on for wanting dinner.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to leave soon. So we're gonna leave it at that. You're gonna say thank you for listening. This has been Kez and Sam. Let's talk dogs. It's bye from me.
And it's bye from me and Dora. She's showing me her butt.
She's showing her the butt. It's your butt.
Like my butt.
Take care.